Welcome to the Firebelly Social Show. We're focused on talking to food and beverage brands that are on a mission to make the world better.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to a special compilation episode of the Firebelly Social Show. I'm your host, Duncan Alney. It is my distinct pleasure to hang out with leaders of mission-driven food and beverage brands. It's one of my distinct happinesses in life to do this. If you're running a new or established food and beverage brand, you already know the harsh truth that while getting a purchase order is hard, actually staying on the shelf and selling consistently is an entirely different beast. So, welcome to this special episode. Today I have brought together 5 of the brightest minds in food and beverage in the ecosystem to give you an uncompromised roadmap for retail velocity, awareness, and really just in general survival. You're about to hear from Peter Gialantzis on the harsh realities of product placement, David Mesa on managing trade spend and shelf velocity, Gian Facenda on tracking the modern trends and building retail relationships, Eric Martindale on how digital brand awareness is critical, but retail media is where it converts, and that's how you protect your margins. And of course, Samuel Anderson on how to beat the 95% brand failure rate through active community storytelling. So grab a notepad, let's dive in.
I'm not alone. I mean, I think there's thousands of us in the industry that have really committed their life's work to bringing better food to market. And that means different things to different people, but bringing access of good food to more people is a mission that I think a lot of us in the industry are driven by. And that was definitely true for me. I came out of college and immediately went to go work for Whole Foods because I felt like that was the front line of the battle between good food and less good food, let's call it. And yeah, increasingly now it's about the data and the analytics behind it that's driving that. And there's an art and there's a science. The science is the foundation upon which that art can be built in terms of getting that quality food into people's homes, for sure.
I mean, I think this is self-described by you and your team as a disruption because you are giving emerging brands opportunities that they otherwise would not have. I was just recently, like a week ago, at Whole Foods, came across your end cap, and lo and behold, there's Spicewell, right? And Reina Kumra has been on the show, and giving access to an emerging brand like that to prime retail space is amazing, and y'all handle all of that.
I mean, if our brands knew honestly like how much we met about their brand each week, they would be like, wow, like this is, you guys meet on our brand more than we meet on our brand. Like we treat it like it's our brand. We treat all of our brands, it's like it's our brand. Everybody on our team has worked for brands our whole career. So we understand like that pressure, meeting P&L, like budgets, all those things. We understand that. So we're constantly working on strategy internally to like, okay, what can we do to move the needle? Like, is this working? Is it not working? Did we put together enough trade spend? Is our packaging capturing the consumer's eyes? Like, are we on the right shelf? Is this the right retailer? Those are a lot of things that, some other folks in the industry may just, not understand coming from different sides of the business, but being on the brand side, those are things that you have to think about every day where, you have KPIs and whatnot that you need to hit. And so, and we love our brands, we're people first, Duncan. I've told you that,
yes.
You and I think like that's like one of the things that really connects us is like we're people.
Yes.
And for us, like we've all decided that, hey, we want to help great people. We want to make money for great people. And so when we're, working on it and talking and discussing strategy, we're we're thinking about it from their lens. Like, okay, we don't want to spend too much. We want to make sure we can hit this without that spend. We want to advise on, like, hey, if we save spend here, can we use it over here or something like that? Can we get Firebelly? Like, how do we, like, what is going to move the needle for us? So,
are you seeing any trends or anything noteworthy so far?
A lot of international flavors this year. Yeah, flavors and fiber. Fiber is also big.
Flavors and fiber. I know in the North Hall, there's some really exciting stuff going on in there. Did you see any of that?
Yes, yeah. I spent a lot of time this morning. I still got to traverse the rest of the place, but North Hall is my first stop.
Yeah, all the innovation and kind of the newer things. We had Nara. There's a Filipino, originally a Filipino brand. They up for a Nexties, so a lot of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, I love the Nexties. It's great to see what people's passion projects are and it coming to shelf.
What do some of the bigger brands do at these shows?
I think a lot of it is just a reminder that they're there and they're competing and they're trying to be innovative in their own different way. Yeah.
And is it also community for them where they're meeting suppliers, they're meeting their salespeople are meeting buyers and, distributors and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to, kill two birds with one stone. You get a bunch of meetings done. You don't have to fly all over the country and meet with all the same people.
Yeah, it depends. I gave the example of one customer, and what's interesting to me over the last year, foot traffic is declining month over month at Target, but sales goals are not coming down. So it's not like the buyers are saying, hey, we have less people in our store, so you don't have to sell as much. They're still requiring brands to hit the same goals as before. So they're almost across the board. They're all leaning into Roundel more and more. Fortunately, it's a good platform. Like I said, Target has really good digital penetration. So we're able to drive a lot. We have one brand that is driving about 40+% through Target Roundel. Almost everyone we have on Target Roundel is driving a larger portion than normal compared to other retailers.
That's amazing. And now Walmart has been in the news for a few days now, and John Furner has taken the helm, and he's got an amazing, dare I say, experience and pedigree, which you outlined. Where do you think they're going, and what is this contribution that e-commerce will make in terms of like the split between e-commerce and in-store?
Yeah, there were 3 positions that changed in Walmart this month, and the first. So I'm gonna back up and say I'm a huge fan of their. I guess he's technically still the current global CEO or Walmart International, Walmart Inc. is Doug McMillon. I think that guy he's a baller. That guy is brilliant. He's the one who took Walmart from those dark, dingy Walmarts to what they are today. And I know there's still some dingy ones out there, but they are crushing in delivery. Their app is probably one of the better retail apps out there. The stores are re-merchandised. They're doing a lot of local merchandising. That's all Doug McMillon.
So this is a brand called Even right here. So Even's being launched here in Minnesota. They actually be the Valspar and the PGA. He doesn't want to be known as a golf brand, but his strategy is double beer, by the way. So beer's at $12.99. This is $24.99 for a 4-pack, and people are paying for it. The other thing is on those menus, and ties into the route to market. Sorry, I'm live, raw and real, Duncan. But on the menus is you go to a restaurant, you go to a stadium today, you can't find products like this. They're like, yeah, what's your NA option? A water and a Coke. So your point of separating those and creating a section for those products is really important, because then you have products like Amethyst. Yep, I'm doing advertising. Eric will appreciate this, by the way, because Eric does this with his brands all the time. But this is another product that's an option out there for you to go to. So I love NA. So Jeff, you and I perhaps talk. From a supply chain standpoint, I know I have my friend Fred Fox up there, but Fred always says, I don't want to present a brand unless they have a distributor, right? So he struggles with that all the time. So from a route to market, a brand needs to find a wholesaler, especially in a 3-tier system. And a lot of these brands I just named, they're going through beer wholesalers, wine and spirit wholesalers. But we got to give we got to give brands a better path. So what we learned at WSWA just recently, we were talking to a lot of wholesalers there, and every wholesaler we talked to looked at us like we were vampires. I don't want another brand. I don't want to put things back in inventory. So he said, what if we brought you a brand with a plan? Are you interested? And by the way, every one of you that sits on this panel today, you help us because we have partnerships with people that help us build a plan, right? So we no longer go to market the traditional way. We have over 42 pass-throughs across North America. We have partnerships with small, medium, and large wholesalers, e-commerce, DTC, and this is something I'm sure Eric can talk about more extensively than I can. But the point is there's not one way to go to market. You could start with DTC, build your business up, or you can start with small wholesalers and build your business up that way. So we're just trying to find resources for our brands, and it's definitely a changing landscape. There's consolidation obviously happening. There's brands that are moving around. Just a few weeks ago, sorry to the RDC folks, but they moved Tito's away from Reyes in California from RDC to Reyes in California. That was a significant move. So there's a lot of blurring too, because in our business, it used to be you're a beer wholesaler, you're a wine and spirits wholesaler. Now they're all representing multiple brands. And it's not just beer, wine, and spirits. It's NA brands, it's cannabis brands, it's everything in between.
So thank you for listening today. Really amazing participants and points of view. Thank you to Firebelly Marketing, our sponsor and partner, where Firebelly builds stories, demand, and supports retail velocity. So check out firebellymarketing.com. So just based on today's episode, whether you're optimizing shelf velocity like David, navigating retail machines like Peter, building broker relationships like John, scaling retail media like Eric Martindale, or bulletproofing your brand's community with Sam, one constant thread ties it all together. If the consumer doesn't know you, doesn't trust your story, and can't actively find you, your product is not going to move. And traditional retail metrics alone don't cut it anymore. So executing that roadmap of storytelling, building demand, and sales support is critical, and it's what Firebelly does on a daily basis. We help emerging, established brands turn social engagement into retail traction. If you're ready to scale that, contact firebellymarketing.com. Thank you for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. I'm your host, Duncan, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.